Okay, we are live with the Dana Show. Hey, so I'm Dana Bentz, realtor, and today we have Lynda Sunshine West with us today. So we're streaming live from Facebook. So, as the first guest on the Dana
Yay!
Show about business, Lynda, can you tell me why you're here? Why you're a business owner on the Dana Show?
Well, thanks so much, Dana, for having me. And I'm honored and blessed to be your first guest. I love that because, it's interesting. A lot of people don't like to be first because the precedent hasn't been set yet. But I'm all for, you know what, I just want to jump in, dive in, and see what happens. And that's how I basically live my life. And, why am I here today? Well, it was 4.5 years ago. Actually, it was December 4th of 2014. So it hasn't been 4.5 years ago. But just a little over 4 years ago, I left my corporate job. And I had been in the corporate world for 36 years. I had 49 jobs. And my last job was working for a judge in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. I was a legal secretary for 20 years of that 36 years. And the thing is that I discovered that well, after 49 jobs, you don't really fit, like I didn't fit into that square box. I was like a round peg trying to fit into a square box, and it just wasn't for me. And I will note that I have never ever been fired. Every single job I left. So that means I've had more than 49 interviews, so I got to become an expert interviewer, for sure, for interviewee for myself. But why I'm here today is, I started my entrepreneurial journey just a little over 4 years ago. When I made that leap from corporate to entrepreneur, first of all, I had never even heard the word entrepreneur. So I didn't even know what it was, but I knew what I wasn't going to do anymore. Like, I got to follow this dream and passion of helping people. So I made that leap, and I made a leap with no net. I made a leap of faith. I had no money saved to do anything. I came home, I told my husband, I'm quitting my job. And I said, we're going to sell our house because I need to follow this dream and passion of helping people. And he was like, I get the job thing because you've had 49 jobs. Okay, I get that. But we're not selling the house. And I said, and this is what I really honestly said, was, you don't understand. God has me on this path. And he told me that this is what I need to do. So no human body is going to get in the way of my purpose for being here on earth. And so I said, I'm selling the house with or without you. And he said, okay, I get it. You're serious. Let's do it. Let's sell the house. So fortunately, I know that most people are like, what?
You got him on board though. I like it.
I got him on board because it wasn't an ultimatum, because I wasn't saying, it's me or no, I was saying, this is what I'm doing. You can either go with me or not. But I'm doing this. This is not an ultimatum, because this is really, I got to figure out, like, what's my purpose here on earth, and I have to fulfill that purpose. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm doing here today on your show, because I've followed this, I've created this amazing journey along the path to discover, like, now it took me 4 years to really figure out, like, what is it I'm going to do to make money? It took me 4 years, but here I am. I figured it out, and I figured out how I can help people, how I can serve my purpose. Like, what am I here on this planet to do? And not only that I, can make money doing that stuff.
I love that. And it sounds like the typical, well, there's not really a typical way that entrepreneurs find their way, but it sounds like we take leaps of faith to drop everything we have. It's kind of like that burning the ships metaphor. Like we're burning any path back. It's like we're just going towards the business, the passion, the purpose. And it sounds like that's exactly what you did with selling the house. You tell your husband, I'm selling this thing, like, come with me or not. Like, this is your passion. And it sounds like he believed in you just as much as you believed in yourself.
Yeah. And it what's crazy about it for me is that, like, I lived in that house since I was 2 years old. So I say since I was two, like, I moved out, and then when my parents passed away, my husband and I bought the house from my parents. And so that had been my childhood home. But here's the thing, Dana, I, like many people I know, grew up in a very volatile, abusive household. I'm meeting more and more people who grew up in abuse. And so the connections that I had to the house, there weren't really happy connections. We had happy moments, but all in all, when I look at the grand scheme of the days that I was living in that house, they were not happy. I ran away when I was 5 years old, and I was gone for an entire week. That's how much I hated that house. Yeah.
Dang. Wow. So it was hard to sell, but it was also the right thing to do was to sell the house.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we sold it in a week. And it was funny. You might, you're being a realtor and stuff. You might say, what? So what we did is we put the house on the market and it didn't sell in 2 days. And so I called my realtor and I said, drop the price. We're out of this house. Like I went out of this house fast in a week. She's like, no, it hasn't been on the market long enough. I know. Drop the freaking price because we're out of here. And it sold. Like it sold in a week. And we were literally out of the house within 30 days of putting it on the market because it was a week and then 3 weeks escrow and we were out.
Dang. Okay, so walk me through the journey of so that was like day one of the entrepreneur journey for you. So like what was the journey like from then till now? You're making money just working for yourself today.
It's been a very interesting journey, so to speak, because I have so many, I'll just back up a little bit. Before I quit my job, I had hired a life coach to help me figure out what is this whole thing called life? And what am I supposed to do here? I just was so unhappy with my life at that time. So I hired this life coach. And one of the exercises she had me do, and I highly recommend this for if you're watching this show and you're not really sure what your purpose is or what your passion is or how you can make money, I recommend doing this exercise. And that's you sit down and you write down all the things that truly make you happy so that when you're doing those things, you're like, oh my God, I love this. This is so much fun. I'm having a blast. Figure out what all those things are. Write them down. And then what I did is my list had like 32 things on it. And my life coach, she was like, that's a lot of things. And I'm like, that's awesome, right? Because I have opportunities to enjoy my life even that much more. So then I looked at all of those things that I had listed and I kept just pouring through those items to figure out what can I do to make money? What can I do to make money? Doing these things, incorporating all these things. So it literally took me about 4 years to get there because I had to keep coming back to my list because I would try something. I wouldn't make any money at it or I would lose money. Like the first thing I did was I put on a big food festival. It was called Lemon Zest and Garlic Fest. It was so
awesome. That's a good name.
Thank you. That was the first thing I wanted to do was put on this big festival, bring people together, have a party, raise money for charity. That was what I wanted to do. It was really, really cool, amazing. It was like 4 months. We planned it for 4 months. I had 10 people that were on my team helping me. The day of the event, San Diego received the most rain it's received in history in one period of time. We had thunder, lightning, which we don't get, thunder, lightning, and just like downpour. And so not a whole lot of people showed up because it was an outdoor event and it was in July. So it's like all the cards were stacked against me on that day. But, and I lost, invested, spent, educated. I used so many different words for it. $70,000 on that event.
No kidding.
That was the majority of the house that we made, the majority of the money that we made from the sale of the house. Right. And so after that event, I did the numbers. I was like, oh my God, we lost $70,000. And I came to my husband and I was like, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. That didn't work, but I learned so many lessons of what didn't work. And so now I can apply that to, my future things that I do. So it's been
everything you learned.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that was just one event. I held another event after that and I only lost 10,000. So I like to say I had a 700 increase, instead of saying I lost 10,000, 700% increase.
You kept going after the second event, still lost money.
Yep. Yeah. Because again, so here's one thing I love to share with people is, so it was December of 2014 when I left my job. January 1st of 2015, I woke up that morning and I said, I got to do something different. my life is changing. I'm making tremendous strides in my life. My life coach is helping me to discover like what my purpose is. And so I'm going to face a fear every day because I have so many fears. And so I decided that morning I was going to wake up every morning and ask myself this question: what scares me? And just wait in complete silence. Wait until the answer comes. And whatever the first thing was that came to my mind, I had to do it that day. So the reason I mentioned that is because I had so many fears. I even came up with my own acronym because they say fear is false evidence appearing real. I've heard face everything and run. So I hear all these different acronyms, but I came up with my own because that event, the Lemon Zest and Garlic Fest, was with July of 2015. It was halfway through facing a fear every single day of my year, my year of fears. And I left that event. I was like, I still have faith. I still have faith that what I'm doing is right. I didn't cry. I didn't get upset. I was like, okay, these are the lessons I learned. What I need to do is make sure I don't do those again, and make sure I do those, keep doing those certain things, and learn from the lessons and keep going. So the acronym I came up with is faith erases anxious reactions. Because fear is nothing but anxiety. It's an anxiety of something in the future. It's in the future. We don't even know what it is. But I discovered that because my faith was so strong, that I'm following the right path, I'm on the path God put me on, I'm helping people that I need to help, and that eventually it's going to work out to be doing what I need to be doing and making the money, that is from all the stuff I'm doing. I have faith so strong that I have no fear. It's so incredible. When your faith is strong, your fear is weakened. It's amazing.
Yep. And I love that acronym. I bet that helps you just keep going. You're on the second event, and then you're just like, well, what could happen the third event? I've already lost some money on these two. There's only something that could be better coming from the next event. Yeah, absolutely. So from there, did you feel like you were getting closer to finding the passion, or like your purpose, getting closer to it?
Yeah, always, like almost daily, because I was on this path to discover what I'm supposed to be doing. I always like looking at every single day and seeing, what did I learn today? What brought me closer to my purpose? What did I learn today? What brought me closer every single day? And when you put that much, do what?
Were you journaling about those things, or were you kind of just letting it sit in your mind?
Let it sit in my mind, which I look back and I'm like, dang it, I should have been journaling, because look how many books I could have written along the way, right?
Exactly. Oh, I love that.
But you know what? I
question from our viewers.
My first success. Hi, Gage. It's Gage.
Hey. Okay. Gage says, what was your first success, Lynda? Ooh, good question.
Great question. So here's the thing, Gage. I love this question. I love this question because success is different for everybody, first of all. Because my success for me is my true success. Now, somebody might look at me and say, but that wasn't a success. Here's the thing. That event that I put on, the first one, Lemon Zest and Garlic Fest, we had 700 people in attendance. It was a first-time event. It was pouring down rain. We had thunder and lightning. People were texting me and saying, I'm on my way. There's a lot of traffic because it's raining like crazy, but I'm still coming. 700 people. I didn't know all those people. To me, that was a huge success because people who came enjoyed it. They had a great time. I put on a $70,000 party is how I look at it.
Oh my God. Wow. And it sounds like that event, it feels like it gave you confidence, even though it wasn't profitable. It felt like you were getting closer to something, to what you were put on this earth for. It feels like that was like a confidence booster. You got out of the jobs, you got out of the corporate world that just wasn't working, and you're like on this entrepreneurial dream.
Exactly. And that's why I love that question, right? Because success for me is different than other people. I mean, that wasn't monetary success, but the success I had from that was like, just like you said, the confidence I gained, the notoriety I gained. I had such an amazingly positive attitude the entire event that one of my mentors, somebody told my mentor, said, "Oh my God, you would be so proud of Lynda because she was so amazing. Like you would never know if she was upset because my mental attitude was right." And so that is success, especially when I came from abuse, right? So I came from all this abuse. My ex-husband told me I was stupid and ignorant on a daily basis. My current husband is amazing. So I came from all of that to go from that to have this amazing positive attitude that, even though I had adversity, it was bad, I lost a lot of money, that what I learned in the process was what made me successful that day. So I want to share really, really quickly, Dana. So that next event I held, it was called the Very Best Chocolate Fest. I love chocolate. I'm a chocolate lover. And that event, thank you. It's like funny. I come up with these names. And I'm like, oh, I got to do something with that because I love the name. So I had this Very Best Chocolate Fest. We lost $10,000, but check this out. There were 3,500 people in attendance. It was a first-time event. Tell me who has a first-time event that has 3,500 people in attendance. Was that a success? Hell yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
But
and you
money.
5 times your attendance from the last event, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I became known, for festivals, like putting on these food festivals. It's not what I'm doing today, but it was part of my process for me to discover. It was a process that I had to go through for me to learn about marketing. I learned about advertising. I learned about sponsorships. I learned about so many things just by those two little events, right? Two big events. They weren't little. Those two big events right there, So it was part of my journey that I had to go on, because what I do today, I'm able to help people with their marketing. I'm able to help them with their mindset when it comes to money. I'm able to say, I lost $70,000, but I kept going. You can do it too. So that's part of my journey. It's been amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about that now. So what are you doing today, and how did you get to past the events? How'd you get from those events to what you're doing today? Which it sounds like it's a little bit different, but you still gained all that knowledge that you can use from the events, using it now.
Right. So true. And, we were talking earlier before we got on the show here, you're talking about live streaming and stuff. Live streaming has become a huge part of my life, but it's also become a huge part of my business, because I use live streaming to, do what we call attraction marketing, attracting people to you. So what I do now is I have a mastermind group. Here's what's kind of crazy about it is my money mindset has been like wavering up and down, up and down, up and down for the last 4 years while I've been on this journey. And I started this mastermind group 3.5 years ago, but I did it for free because I didn't think anybody would pay. But I really started it because I needed it. It was like the necessity is the mother of invention. I created my own mastermind group, which is, it's like no other. Trust me, nobody will do it because nobody is as crazy as I am. I know that. So here's how my mastermind group works is I do one-on-one coaching with my clients once a quarter, so we can set their 3-month goals. And then I can make sure I keep them on track through accountability to get them to reach those goals. So that's one thing that we do. We also have a monthly and in-person meeting that we do, a mastermind. I also do twice a month. We do online masterminding, which masterminding, for those who don't know what that means, it's when you bring 2 or more heads together that have a common goal. So in our instance, it would be like growing our business, for example. So our common goal is that we all want to grow our business. We all want to make more money so that we can have more fun and make a bigger impact, whatever it is. And so the mastermind does this. Then what we do is when we mastermind, we share what we're working on, we share what struggles we're having, and then the mastermind talks about different things that you can do to break through those struggles that you're having or what have you. The beauty of my mastermind is my accountability portion. This is the part that nobody that I know is doing this, and it's because, again, it's absolutely crazy. My coaches tell me I'm nuts for doing it. I shouldn't do it, but I say I can't help it. This is something I feel so passionate about. This is me. This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
And so
okay,
what we do, you're ready? Oh my God, it's absolutely crazy. It's called the Next Level Experiential Mastermind. So what we do, what I offer to my clients is up to 4 times per week. They get on an accountability call with me for 3 hours. So that's 12 hours a week that you have an opportunity to work with me in this accountability call. But here's the crazy part. What we do is you hop on the call, you tell me what you're going to commit to finishing in 3 hours. And then at the end of the 3 hours, we come back and I say, did you do it or not? And I will tell you, 95% of the time, my clients finish what they commit to. It's absolutely amazing. One of my clients tripled her income in 2 years through this program.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this works.
This works. I guarantee it, or your money back. The only way it's not going to work is if you don't do the work. See, because I set you up on a strategic plan for 3 months. How are we going to make you money in 3 months? And then I keep you accountable towards that goal. So it's not like you hop on it and for that 3 hours you say, okay, well, I need to clean the house today. I need to do my laundry. No. We got to keep you focused on that 3-month goal so you can actually achieve it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it because the majority, I feel like a lot of people are the types to just set goals and you kind of forget about it. And then all of a sudden you're 3 months later and you're like, well, I think I set out to make X amount of money, but I kind of got off track or people aren't keeping track. And so this is like, it brings the goal down to like an hour, a couple hours. Like, what are you going to do in this next 3 hours to move you towards that 3 month, that annual goal? I think that's amazing. So it's so the client gets to choose what they want to work on in the next 3 hours. Is that how you set it up?
Yeah, so they select but we have already gone through the strategy, and so they know what they need to work on. So what they're doing is they're telling me what they're going to commit to, like in that period of time. So it can be anything from making phone calls. And here's the thing, what I've discovered now, because I did my year of fears, and actually I wrote a book called The Year of Fears, and because I did that year of fears, my specialty is in helping people break through their fears. So oftentimes, the reason people are not successful in their business is because fear is stopping them from doing that one thing they need to do to up level. Whether it's getting on phone calls, sending out emails, maybe it's learning new software, maybe it's doing live videos, maybe it's doing pre-recorded videos, maybe it's starting a podcast. There's so many different things that are going to help to propel you to that next level. But because I don't know how to do it, I'm too scared to do it, I don't know the next step to take, whatever it is, I help you with that so that you do make that next level. And I hold you accountable. Like if you say, I'm going to make 10 phone calls in the next 3 hours, I'm going to come back and say, did you make those phone calls? And if you say no, I'm going to ask you why not. Yeah. And most of the time it's fear. Now, if it's fear, I will then take you aside and I will work with you on the mental part, the mental emotional part, and help you break through that fear so you get it done. And it's amazing. I mean, as you can tell, I'm so excited about it because this is my zone of genius. It took me 4 years to figure it out, but I figured it out and I'm doing it. I launched it as a paid program 6 weeks ago, and it's amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Yep. So now you're helping other people achieve their entrepreneurial goals, just like you started achieving and now are even more achieving now. That's so awesome. Exactly. So it's amazing. You mentioned your live streaming is part of your business. Now, is that do you live stream to that mastermind, or are you live streaming as like a separate part of your business? I do live streaming for a couple different reasons, but I'll just really quickly touch on the story as to why I even started doing videos in the first place. So this was a little over 4 years ago before I started this journey. This young man that I know, he was born with cerebral palsy, like he has severe cerebral palsy. And he asked me one day if I would do a video for him because he thinks I'm funny. And so I was like,
Okay, I'll do a video. So I broke out my camera because I didn't even know my phone had a camera on it. So I broke out my camera, I recorded a video, and then I downloaded it to my computer and uploaded it to Facebook. And literally it was like, hey, Ryan, it's Lynda. This is, your video because you asked for this video. So I did that first video. And then the next day he was like, Lynda, I really like your video. Will you do one for me every day? And I was like, oh, so cute. My God.
How do you say no to that?
Oh, yeah. How can you say no to that? Exactly. Well, here's the thing. Like at that time, Ryan was, I think he was 30. I've known him since the day he was born because his mom and I are like best friends since second grade. And so, like I just known him. He's so amazing. I just love this young man. Right. And so I was like, yeah, of course I will. So I'll do a video every day. So I had to record my videos, download them to my computer, and upload them every day. That's what I did. So they were really short, anywhere from 30 seconds to, maybe I would do like a 2-minute video sometimes. And they were just totally random topics. I was only doing this to fulfill a promise I made to Ryan. So the day live video came out, like live video came out on iPhones first, and I have a Droid. And I was so jealous. I wanted, like, when is it going to come out on my Droid? So it was like a month after it came out on iPhone, there it was, that live button on my phone. And I was like, hallelujah, I don't have to do pre-recorded videos anymore. I can just save all that time. It was all about saving time. That was it. So I hit go live. Hey, Ryan, it's Lynda, blah, 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 do my video. Every day started doing that. And it was just so cool because it saved me time. Then I noticed people started watching. Then I noticed people started commenting. And I was like, this is awesome. It really like gave me another boost of confidence. And so I've done now since then, I've done about 2,800 live videos.
No. In just 2 years, 4 years, how long has it been?
The live videos have been almost 3 years now because it was April of 2016, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. So you're like a live stream pro, basically.
I would say I have the hours in, yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I can count the number of lives I've been on my hands still. So
well, you're just starting, right? I was there at one time, right? Well, and it was cool as in my year of fears, which is 2015, it was like November or so. I said, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself to do a challenge because I keep seeing people do 5-day challenges and all this stuff. I was like, I'm going to do a challenge. So I decided to do a live video challenge. And I had 115 people sign up to do my live video challenge. It was 31 days in December, 2015 of doing live videos. And I helped that many people in a matter of 30 days do their first live video. And it was, I felt so like, wow, this is awesome.
You're really helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
You said 100 people signed up for that.
Yep.
Wow. That's a lot of people doing live streams.
Yeah. Now I have like 100, I think I have 350 people now in the group. It's called Live Video Challenges. I need to do another live video challenge, by the way, but it's awesome to help people with that first one, because there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear of judgment. What are people going to think of me? What are people going to say of me? What people don't realize is when you go live, especially the first time, and you might be able to confirm this, Dana, is the first time people are so supportive. They're like, wow, this is so cool. You're going live.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People, I've gotten so many likes and comments, and people even direct messaging me saying, cool idea, cool show. And some people want to be on my show already. So you're absolutely right that once you do it, all your friends and hopefully all your family members too are so excited, and they want to be a part of it. They want to be on your show, or they're going to watch it each week or everything like that. It's really been, it's been a great response.
Yeah. And you can do it on your personal page, on your business page, in groups. You can do it so many different places. And like right now we're using StreamYard, which is awesome. Shout out to StreamYard. Love StreamYard. You can do it on mobile. You can do it on your computer. Like Dana's on her computer right now. I'm on my
Yep.
mobile. So
Yep.
it's so amazing. There's no excuse not to do it, because if you're in business, they say that, like, right now, I think about 80% of people in business are doing live stream. I heard that statistic the other day. I don't know if that's true. I
That
don't even
feels
know
like a
where
lot.
I don't know where they got that statistic from, but I'm going to debunk it. I don't think it's true, because I think still most businesses are not doing it. So with all the noise out there, how are you going to be seen and heard? The
Yeah.
best way is to make these connections like this, where people can chat with you. They can have conversations with you without being in person with you. And
Yep.
it's just a great way to build your audience.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think the coolest part, one of the coolest parts about StreamYard is that you and I get to talk, and you don't live in Portland, Oregon. So, and
Nope.
we met online, since you were using StreamYard too, in our StreamYard group, and interview anyone from anywhere around the world as long as they have internet. That's all you need to be on StreamYard, which is so neat. So that helps me broaden my who's on my show, which is awesome.
Well, can I just make another really quick plug for StreamYard? And that's StreamYard. I know a lot of people who are using Facebook, and they're doing the Facebook thing, and then they're inviting a person to join them live. That's very cumbersome. It's a pain. Sometimes the person doesn't see your link. Sometimes they don't know you're live, and so many things can mess up. I mean, I've been interviewed on those kinds of shows, and it's really more of a hassle for me as the interviewee to be on your show when you're using Facebook as your way of bringing the interview on. When you use StreamYard, you can schedule it ahead of time. People can see that you're going live, who you're going live with. Your guests can share the link out. Plus, here's the thing I think is the best thing about StreamYard for those who want to dabble in live streaming, is they have free, unlimited streaming.
Yeah.
Just like Facebook. Yeah. Or you can pay $25 a month and be able to do, like Dana has the Dana show up there. She has that up there, and she has her logo, up there also. And that's because she's paid the $25 a month to have this. It's so worth it. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's things she can put up on the screen, like she can put her website up on the screen and stuff like that as well. So there's so many things you can do with StreamYard. It's the bomb.
Yeah, I love it. I love it too, and I'm so excited. You're so stoked. You're just as stoked as I am, and I love how professional the production looks. Just from you and I being on our, I'm on my computer, you're on your mobile. Like I think it's awesome too.
Yeah.
So do you have advice for the entrepreneur who's maybe still stuck in their 9-to-5, in their office job that you had done 49 different office jobs? Like what should they be thinking about? What should they be doing? What should they be getting ready for? What advice would you give someone in that position?
Great question. The first advice I would give is, don't do what I did. Don't jump without a net. So what I would recommend is, if you have a 9-to-5, and I actually had a 9-to-5 while I had a business. I had a virtual assistant business for like 13 years while I was working in corporate. And so I had my 9-to-5, I'd come home and I'd do my virtual assistant business, and at that time I never thought of like just leaving, but here's what I recommend is, start building up that momentum, build up your business where you have enough income coming in that it's replacing your 9-to-5 income. But also realize that the fastest way for you to grow is to either hire a coach or a mentor who is doing what you want to do. But not only that, make sure they're successful, because I know a lot of people who are mentoring and coaching people who aren't successful. Yep. But you have to make sure you're following somebody who's successfully doing what you want to do, because that is the fastest path. That's one thing I say that, that for me, the last 4 years, I spent trying to figure it out. Like I spent 4 years trying to figure out what it is I'm doing and who I am. So I had a life coach to help me with that. But along the way, I had mentors and coaches also, which was great. It was awesome. They really helped me a lot, but I wasn't ready for them yet because I still didn't know what I was doing. So I
Right.
did events. I mean, I put on a whole bunch of events, and I've done so many things in this last 4 years trying to figure out what the thing was. So if you know what you're doing, like when I had my here, I'll just give an example. When I had my virtual assistant company, I could have grown that virtual assistant company had I reached out to a mentor who had a successful virtual assistant company and asked them, hey, how did you become successful? Can you help me get there too? They would have saved me a lot of time, but they would have helped me to figure out, like, how do I go from being a solo virtual assistant doing all the work to actually having virtual assistants under me doing all the work? They could have helped me with that. So I think it's really important to find a mentor or coach, again, who's doing successfully what you want to do. Then make sure you have a little bit of a nest egg. Know what the expenses are. Know what those expenses are. What is it going to cost you to run your business? You have to invest in order to have a successful business. You will not be able to do it bootstrapping everything. So don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled by that, because you might eventually be successful, but do you want to wait 20 years to be successful?
Right. Yeah.
You want to short that time. And that's why my mastermind is actually really great, because I'm going to keep you on track for those goals. And so, like, circle back to that, the mastermind group, if you're a female, it's only for women. Sorry, guys. It's only for women. And the reason I do that is because I noticed by being in the corporate world as well as being in the entrepreneur world, I noticed that when women are together without men in the room or in the mix, that they're much more likely to be vulnerable and open up.
Interesting.
So I've created that environment for that reason, so they can share, like, more openly and vulnerably.
So is this mastermind, is this open to the public? Can they sign up for the next mastermind?
Yeah, and so it's just ongoing. It's an ongoing program. So it's their 3 months. So whatever their 3 months is, that I help them out with. But yeah, it's ongoing. And the link to that is nlemastermind.com, which is, next level experiential, nlemastermind.com. And yeah, it's open to the public, but it is women. It's women entrepreneurs who want to grow their business. They want to grow it fast. And I'm looking for people who will actually take action. Like, no excuses.
We're motivated.
I've dealt with those clients who have an excuse every single week as to why they didn't do the stuff they need to do. I've dealt with those people, and I'm sorry, but you're not for me, because I want to actually help you succeed. And I can only help you succeed if you're willing to actually buckle down and do the work. No excuses. Bam.
I love that. Well, Lynda, I love all your tips today. And I feel like you sharing your story in such detail, your entrepreneurial story, it's so motivating for people who might be in the initial phases, or even if they're in whatever business they're in now and they're trying to have faith and keep their faith and stick with it, keep going, keep finding what it is their purpose is. I think that's so neat. And thank you so much for being the first guest on the Dana Show. So Lynda, do you have any last words, last advice? What do you want to say to our viewers here on the Dana Show?
Thank you. And this is really important to me, and I'm hoping that it's important to the viewers, is that we don't know how many minutes we have left on this planet. So I've made a mission for myself to live my life with no regrets. When my mom passed away, she was 78 years old. She had so many things she didn't do in life. And I remember her saying to me, she said, there's so many things I didn't do. I have so many regrets. I decided in that moment, and I actually get a little bit emotional thinking about my poor mom never doing the things she wanted to do, because she had so much fear in her life. And so I just say, find what it is that you're passionate about. Make your list of all the things you love doing. And here's the thing I love to tell my clients is, you make that list, and what you do is every day you try to do at least 5 or 10 minutes of something on that list, so you experience joy on a daily basis. You up that to 10 minutes the next week, then 15 minutes. Eventually, you'll be living every single moment of your life, most of your moments of your life, in pure joy and loving your life and living your life with no regrets. So when you get to the end and you're taking your last breath, instead of saying, I wish I had, you'll say, I'm glad I did.
Wow. Wow. I love that, Lynda. I love that.
Thank
That's
you.
so meaningful. And what a great note to end on. Like, no fear, live your life with no regret. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's awesome.
Thank you so
Well,
much for having me. You're amazing, and I know your show's going to take off, girl.
thank you so much, Lynda. Thanks for being here. And thanks everyone for watching The Dana Show. We'll be back next Wednesday. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.